Welcome to Soul Tribe Search Party, your go-to space for real talk, deep reflections, and unfiltered life moments. I'm your host, Breezy, and here we keep it raw, soulful, and authentic. Hit that subscribe button, and let's dive in. All right, y'all. So I have Cierra with me, and you know her from my podcast before, but I have brought her back to give us some insight on kind of what she's been doing over the years, because I'm going to be real, my girl has been killing it in the trucking industry. And I just feel like a lot of people that I have been talking to have had interest of like getting their CDL, and I just think it would be great if she can kind of share what her experiences have been and her journey into trucking, because she's been in trucking for about 4 years now, right? So I just feel like she brings a lot to the table, and she can also just talk about just different jobs you can have, or opportunities, things that you can run into, just whatever the case may be. So I guess we'll start it off with, how did you get into trucking?
Okay, girl. How did I get into trucking? Random as fuck. I was working at Amazon, and shout out to Amazon, because like Amazon was one of those jobs where it's like I didn't plan to be there forever. I was just trying to get comfortable in Houston, and I just needed a job that paid some decent money.
Yeah.
And that's where I went. They also offered me some stock.
Yeah.
That I'm still sitting on. I was basically just started working, for them until I figured out my next move, because I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so after a year of working with Amazon, they actually have this program, and they will pay for you to go to school, and it's just like enough for like a community college. They'll pay for like criminal justice, dentistry, nursing. CDL was one of them. And the CDL program caught my attention because a year ago I was talking to one of my friends about we were just talking about getting our CDLs. Her dad had his CDL, and we were just randomly talking about it.
Yeah.
So basically, when the opportunity came up for Amazon to pay for me to get a CDL, I was just like, you know what? Because I remember people always told me that like you will never be without a job as long as you have your CDL. So many opportunities out there. So I was like, still at that point where it's like, I don't know what I want to do in my life, but I want to do something.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck it. I said, I'm gonna get my CDL. I wasn't doing shit. I was like, I'm just gonna get the CDL, and I'll figure it out later.
Yep.
So that's how I actually got into trucking. It was just a random, like my job was willing to pay for it. And I just went with it.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. That's literally
how it went.
Yeah,
basically.
That's how it went.
So what kind of jobs can you expect to get when you're a new CDL holder?
So new CDL holder, I would say like when you first get your CDL, like your first 2 years are going to be the rough years, because a lot of the jobs that they offer for new CDL holders are over the road. Now you might get lucky and find a local job like Cisco. Cisco is a company that delivers food to hospitals, grocery stores, just one of those places. But it's like as a new CDL holder, you're either gonna be over the road, or you're gonna have a trucking job locally where you're actually loading and unloading your truck, which is a lot of work. But those are really the options you have, unless you get lucky and find somebody who will just trust you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to drive their trucks.
Yeah.
But the options are, I mean, there's a lot of options, you know, when you first get your CDL, but just like, um,
Just like the daily home kind of jobs probably
yeah,
won't be.
yeah, the daily home life really won't be available to you when you first get your CDL because um, it all falls with insurance.
Okay. And so let me jump back for just a second. So when you were able to get your CDL with Amazon, did you have to get a permit first, or did they just give you the CDL?
Oh, girl, they could, girl, if they were just giving out CDLs, like that would be great. But I had to go through CDL school.
Okay.
I had to get my permit, which
So
I
you did
got
that
my,
on your own?
huh?
So you did that on your own?
Actually, the CDL school I went through helped me get my permit.
Oh, okay.
Now, people can get their permits on their own. It's just like, say, getting your permit when you got your car, you get the handbook, you download or grab one of the handbooks, you study it, and you just go to the DMV, take the test. But the CDL test is just a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
And usually, like the first week of school. Now, I feel like before you go to CDL school, you should have been done read through the handbook, so you know what you're getting yourself into when you actually get to school. But usually the first week of school, they usually go through the manual handbook with you, and they help people get their permits that way.
Okay.
So you can do either or, but I recommend people to download the handbook from whatever state that you're living in.
Okay.
And read it through. And you're probably not gonna retain any of the information that you get. But it's just the fact that you at least scan through. So when they actually talk about it at school, you're starting to reference and things are starting to make a little bit more sense.
Okay.
When you get into it. But yeah, you have to get a permit, but the permit is for when you start the driving portion of everything too. So
okay. And so what would you say a typical day look like you? I mean, look like you. What would you say a typical day looked like for you when you originally got your CDL versus now?
So when I first got my CDL, we have so as a CDL driver, we have 14-hour work days. We have 14 hours from the time we start our clocks. We have 14 hours from the time we start our clocks to get done whatever we have to do, deliver whatever, and be done before we have to take a 10-hour break.
Okay.
So when I was over the road, I had 14-hour days. I worked 14-hour days. We can only drive for 11 of those hours.
Okay.
But so that's just like somebody clocking in, you know, from their 9 to 5. Like whatever time I clock in, I have 14 hours to do whatever I have to do before I have to shut my truck down for another 10 hours.
Okay.
14 plus 10 is 24. That's 24-hour day.
Okay.
So that's just how that's how it looked. I worked 14, you know, I had 14 hours to do what I had to do, and then I had to shut it down for 10 hours, get up 14 hours and do it all over again because that's how I made my money.
And within that time, is it like you're making it to a certain destination, or is it just like you're just driving for as long as you can and then?
Yeah, so basically like they'll tell me wherever I'm going. I look to see the time frame it's going to take for me to get there. And basically so it's like, okay, cool. I picked this up on a Monday. It's not due in Kentucky until Wednesday. So say it'll take me like 14 hours to get to Kentucky. I'm going to decide, okay, cool. I got to be there Wednesday morning. So I have Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to drive 7 hours this day on Monday, and I'm going to drive 7 hours on Tuesday.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Or I can decide to drive the 11 hours on, I can decide to drive 10 hours on Monday and only have 4 hours to drive on Tuesday. So it was really up to me, you know, how I wanted to get there. But all I know was I needed to get there by Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, but it was up to me to figure out how I wanted to split that time.
Okay.
That I have within my 14 hours, those 2 days to get there. So.
And then, so that's your over the road experience. But when you, because you've had both experiences, right? Like being home on a daily.
No. I've well, that was when I was working at Amazon.
Okay.
When I was Amazon, so after I got my CDL with Amazon, I had went over to their transportation team and I started driving for them.
Okay.
That's when they were growing their transportation side of everything. That's when they were getting the day cabs, like and this is the Amazon in Houston. Like I um I was one of the people that were helping to go pick up the new day cabs and bring them to Houston. And so that's when I was home every day.
Okay.
Locals when I was at Amazon. But since I went over the road, I've never had a job where I'm home every day.
Okay.
I went from being home every like 3 days out the month to a job where I was home on the weekends.
Okay.
And that's just been it. Like,
okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Um. So what obstacles would you say that you first ran into, like from getting your CDL? Like any surprises or just like things you weren't expecting?
So when I first got my CDL, I thought CDL school was going to teach me everything about the job. I thought like I was in CDL school for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like this is it. Like they taught me everything. Girl, until I went out there in the real world, over the road. That's when I realized like no, this is the learning. The learning started when I actually went over the road. The experiences that I've had actually driving over the road was nothing that they taught me in the CDL handbook. Okay. So the obstacles that I ran into, where do I even start? But you said when I first got my CDL.
Yeah. Right? But you can share throughout your process.
Girl, I've been through honestly, my whole CDL career has been an obstacle. If you want me to be honest with you, it's been the whole experience have been an obstacle. Trucking is an obstacle.
Yeah.
So I feel like if it's either for you or it's not.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think like an obstacle that stood out was finding a good company. That was a big obstacle. Finding a good company that actually cares about you.
Yeah.
That cared about me. Because people don't realize, like anybody that you see out there in a truck, like if anything is wrong with that truck, it's gonna go on the driver.
Yeah.
Yes, they might not own the truck. You get what I'm saying? They're just a driver that clocks in, gets in, drive their route, clocks out.
Yep.
But one of the obstacles is finding the company that keeps up with their trucks.
Yeah.
A lot of companies will just let their truck go to shit, and the driver will get dinged for that. Pretty much will get a ticket for that. Will get points on their license for issues wrong with the truck. So one of the biggest obstacles was finding a company that cared about their equipment. And another obstacle was being over the road, being home 3 days out the month, being able to put good food in my body, trying to stay active, work out. You get what I'm saying? Like I had got to a point where I was gaining some weight. Yeah. I was gaining some weight, and then girl, I bought me an electric skillet, I bought me a little blender, I bought me a what else I have in my truck? Girl, I had to get me a little refrigerator, I got me a microwave. So I was stopping at Walmart once a week, girl, loading my little refrigerator up with food, and I started cooking in my truck. Yeah. Because that's another thing, like we only have access to so much food out there.
Yeah.
Which are at the truck stops, fast food.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? Like naturally, like I'm literally living like my truck is my second home.
Mhm.
Honestly, it's been my first home.
Yeah.
My truck is my first home. Because I was never at home. My actual home is like a storage unit.
Yeah.
I kid you not. But yeah, the obstacles of finding somewhere to use the restroom, you know, when I needed it. Like I was at the shippers getting my truck loaded, and they might not have had a restroom for me to use.
Yeah.
But as of this year, they put something in place where if you pretty much are a warehouse that needs drivers to come pick up stuff, they are required to have a restroom for us to use now. So yeah, using the restroom was an obstacle.
Really? That's actually surprising.
Yeah, the guys like the other truck driver guys that I know, girl, I guess they all tell me that they just pull, you know, get a little water bottle. Mm-hmm. And they just pee in a water bottle, but I couldn't do that. So I actually had to get me a little bucket to go in my truck. Mm-hmm. I had to get me a little bucket to go in my truck. So I was when I first started with Wiley Sanders out of Alabama, this lady, she told me, she was like, get you a bucket. I was like for what? Like mm-hmm. She was like, you can go to Walmart, get you a bucket with the toilet seat. She was like, you're gonna need it. And I was like, I'm not gonna need no fucking bucket to use in my truck. Until I came across a situation that I really wish I had a bucket in my mm-hmm. truck to use. And I know that's like, people might be like, that's nasty, blah, 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 but that's just the fucking trucker life. Yeah. And it's, yeah. But those are just a few obstacles. Like I said, my whole trucking career has been an obstacle. But those are just like, you know, the few obstacles that I can stay off top. Okay.
So now, what would you say your future looks like in trucking?
My future in trucking is having and owning, operating my own trucking company.
Period.
That I'm currently working on now.
Okay.
I got my first truck.
Nice.
It's a box truck. It wasn't in the plan.
Yep.
I had planned on getting an 18-wheeler, but the universe was like, no, bitch. Mm-hmm. This is what you get. And I got it. Okay. Nice. So yes, my goal is to create a foundation for other truck drivers to thrive. That's one of the obstacles that, like I said, I came across, is finding a good company who actually cares about you, cares about your growth. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm progressive. And so any company I go to, what can you do for me? How can you make me better? Mm-hmm. Because this is how I can make you better. You know, I can get these loads on time. I can help you get contracts if you need. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? This is how so how are you going to make me better? And that is what we lack in the industry, mm-hmm. is companies that actually give us the foundation to thrive. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to create, because I know so many truck drivers who are going through a lot right now. Yeah. You know, the industry is kind of down. It's doing some weird stuff right now. Nobody knows what to do. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? And everyone's just kind of like trying to figure out what to do. I feel like I know what to do. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Uh-huh. Yeah. I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. So that's what I'm creating right now. It's just a foundation for those in the industry to thrive. Okay.
Period. I love that for you. And so you said you started a company. What is the name?
Fiscally Fit Logistics.
Okay. And how did you come up with that name?
So Fiscally Fit Logistics. How do you spell it? FIS. Girl.
Fiscally.
Yeah,
I got you.
Fiscally. Fiscally Fit Logistics.
That's okay.
Basically, how I came up with that name. That name was brought up, came up, thought of, because a lot of these trucking companies are not fiscally fit. They are not financially stable. They are not financially fit at all. And that's what fiscally fit basically is. It's just it being financially stable, because it's a lot of companies a lot of companies um a lot of companies fail. They don't prepare for
Mhm.
the for the bad times.
Yeah.
You know, like like I said, the industry has its ups and downs, and anybody who's been in the industry for a long time will know that.
Yeah.
And the time periods that we're thriving, all that money that you make when you're thriving
Mhm.
needs to be kept for the months that we're not thriving.
Mhm.
Like during the wintertime.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? Things are slow in the wintertime.
Yeah.
Freight is slow in the wintertime because of weather, snow, blizzards. And even when the market, you get what I'm saying, in general, like COVID really fucked up some companies, and some companies thrived off of COVID. It depended on what you were hauling.
Yeah.
If you were hauling the essential items, guess what? You was thriving.
Yeah.
If you weren't, like, I'm trying to think of some items that weren't really thriving around COVID. I think the like fuel was kind of fucked up during COVID. If if you were hauling fuel, like a lot of those people got laid off.
Yeah.
But basically, like, Fiscally Fit Logistics is just going to be it's a company that's going to be financially stable, fit all around, and
Mm-hmm.
it's also a company that's going to help the drivers be financially fit and stable too, because a lot of truck drivers make a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
and they blow it.
Yeah.
Like, they blow it. Because guess what? We was thriving for these 6 fucking months.
Yeah.
We made all this fucking money. Then they don't realize, like, the next 3 months is about to be shit.
Yeah.
Like, they don't realize that all that money that they made within those 6 months should have been put to the side.
Save it for a rainy day.
For the rainy day that will happen within the next 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so I also want to be able to teach drivers how to be financially responsible.
Okay.
When you do get this money, because there's a lot of money to make out here in the industry.
Yeah.
So that just it's a little synopsis.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the name.
So what would you say your greatest accomplishment is?
My greatest accomplishment is getting my first truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hands down.
Yeah.
I said I wanted to get a truck for my birthday,
mm-hmm.
And I got one.
Yep.
Like, I feel like all the work that I've put in these last 4 years got me to exactly where I am right now with my truck.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually one of my greatest accomplishments right now, is getting my first truck for my company.
Yeah. And that is so awesome to have witnessed you going through that process, because y'all, this girl was just set on, she had gotten an opportunity to work for somebody who gave her a purple truck. And this girl wanted a purple truck so bad, and she's calling me, telling me, like, Bree, I finally had got my purple truck.
So wait, so how long was it? How long was I talking about me wanting a purple truck before I actually got an opportunity to get a purple truck?
You talked about that for a while. But the funny thing about it is the way that the universe had presented it to her, it took it away so fast. because she was so set on the fact that she always wanted the purple truck. And so it was like, this is the bright, shiny object.
Because I had said, because I told myself, with the company that I was with, I was like, this is the last company that, I also said, this is the last company that I'm going to work for.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying?
You had a whole, they finna do this, that, and everything for me, and I'm going to be doing this for them.
Right.
She was so focused on what she could do for this company instead of herself. And so I will let her tell the story, but I just think it is so crazy.
That story is for another day.
Yeah.
We'll say that story for another day. They're not ready for that story. We'll say that story for another day.
Yes, but I think it is so awesome that, you know, she has gotten her own truck and she is finally like doing what she needs to do for herself. Like working she was like forced into doing it for herself. Yeah,
I was forced to work for myself. I was.
Because she was over here tiptoeing and the universe kicked her ass and made her leap into what she had to do.
Literally.
So what advice would you have for anyone that's looking to get into trucking?
So anybody who's looking to get into trucking, if you're looking to get into it for the money, don't do it.
Yeah.
I said because this industry is not for the weak. It is not for the faint. It is for people who wants to use this opportunity to make something out of it. Mm-hmm. Trucking is not the end goal at all. It is not. Yeah. Trucking is not the end goal. But trucking is the ladder to get me to the next level, to get me to the end goal, to get me to the next step, the next level of what I want to do. So I tell people all the time, like, do it because you're trying to get somewhere, you know, not because you're trying to make a certain amount of money.
Yep.
Because with anything that you do in life, like you're going to struggle. You get what I'm saying? Trucking in general is tough. It's exhausting. The whole process is, but when you have a goal in mind, all the events and situations that you might go through in trucking won't faze you because you're working towards a higher purpose. And like I said, this industry is not easy at all. So don't come in here thinking that it's about to be a piece of fucking cake. Yeah. And that's all I got to say.
Yeah. And I wholeheartedly believe in that because I know a lot of people now are just kind of looking for an escape. Like they think that it's just so easy to get their CDL now, you know, and there's a whole bunch of job opportunities.
There's plenty of job opportunities out here, but majority of the job opportunities up here are in trucking. Majority of them are iffy. And it's like it's a hustle. The really industry is a hustle. You have to literally search for the opportunities. Yep. You have to be into this shit to really find the opportunities in trucking.
Yeah. Yes, because people will definitely try to sell you on stuff like it, especially like if you're in a lot of Facebook groups or just whatever. I just feel like there's a lot of scams out there, or just like get rich quick things where people will try to offer you a course on how to do something, and you know it really doesn't show the full details of what exactly it is that you need to do, especially like, and I'll speak from my point of view, dispatching. You know, dispatching is a great thing to learn. However, like just taking a course online because somebody else wants to teach people how to dispatch and just thinking like that's just something that you can jump into the industry and make money off of. Yeah, that might work for some people, but it's deeper than that. Like to dispatch, you need to know about your trucks. Like the courses that they were selling out here, like they were teaching you like basically how to dispatch without like any trucking knowledge, you know, which you don't have to have trucking knowledge, and you don't have to have your own authority or anything like that. However, like a lot of those companies are closed, and they close because, for one, like if you don't have any trucking knowledge, it's hard for you to be overseeing other drivers and what they have going on,
Mm-hmm.
because just dispatching for anybody, like you're the one that's making the connects
Mm-hmm.
and getting the loads for these drivers. But if you don't know anything about these drivers' authorities, you don't like
Mm-hmm.
how they operate. They could not have all the tools that they say that they got,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why I feel like the trucking industry can be very scandalous, and you
Mm-hmm.
will get bamboozled a
Mm-hmm.
couple times or two,
You will.
and you can learn from that experience and use it to keep going. But like she said, it is not for the weak. So if you get bamboozled and you like, this ain't even for me,
It's a lot
like,
of
yeah,
it's a I know a lot of women who quit nursing, got their CDL, and they just thought they were going to make all this money.
mhm,
But the thing is, they went into it to make some money. Like,
mhm,
there's a journey you have to go through before you make the money.
exactly,
Like, you gotta go through some shit before you make the money. And
mhm,
anybody who's a truck driver will tell you that right now. Like, if you think you're about to just jump in this bitch and make some money, no,
yes,
that's not gonna happen.
yep.
Um,
Because a lot of people quit their jobs to do trucking, which
mm-hmm.
is like, it's cool. Like if you even have the motivation of, like, I have to get out there for myself, I have
Mm-hmm.
a family to take care of, whatever you are using to motivate yourself, to where you're not giving up, because like you're willing to learn, you're willing to go through the ups and downs of everything going on, because that's how you are going to provide for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. But if you're just literally trying to quit one thing because it's trendy,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's raving about the trucking industry because they think it's easy, like, oh, I can drive a car, so I can drive a truck. Like, no, I know y'all seen the shit with the driver a few years ago that was in Colorado that had
Mm-hmm.
killed
Yeah.
X amount of
He
people.
lost his brakes and ran, caused a whole pile up.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
And that whole thing was on him as a
Mm-hmm.
driver.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody coming in to save his ass.
Yes, and it really wasn't like his brakes failed.
Yeah.
That guy brakes failed, which that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I'm going up and down mountains, there's always trucks pulled over because their brakes are overheated.
Yep.
And it was either some maintenance needs to be done, or they weren't going down the mountain using the correct method that they were supposed to.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can go, you can drive down a mountain driving the correct method that they tell you to,
Mm-hmm.
and the truck can still fuck up. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, that's the thing about trucking. Like, that's one of the hard parts and obstacles about it too. You can do everything right,
And stuff will still
and
go wrong.
stuff can still go wrong.
Yep. And that's why you got to know what your why is.
Yeah, what your why is, because like me, like I feel like I think like my grandmother taught me to just pray before my drive, pray during my drive, and pray after my drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I do that every time, because every day I'm out there, I could lose my life.
Yep.
It's that's just every day I'm out there, I could lose my life. And it could be totally somebody else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in this big vehicle, and sometimes there's just nothing I can do. I've seen it with my own eyes where, truck drivers who've died, it was just nothing that they could do about it. So that's why I say, like, when you get into the industry, like, don't do it for money. Do it because um, you're trying to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, trucking, I feel like, has kept me focused. It's disciplined me in a way that I don't know where I would have gotten this discipline from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so, like, trucking has really disciplined me in
Mm-hmm.
all areas of my life, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And that's just what I want to share and create, within the company that I'm building. Is just be able to, you get what I'm saying? Like, instead of other people going through the hard times that I've been through in the industry, like, let me make it easier for you.
Yep.
Like, let me lay this foundation where you don't have, like, where you don't, like, I, honestly, like, if I could help somebody not go through all the stuff that I've really been through, that's just what I would love to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here.
Period. So how can people follow you? How can people keep up with Fiscally Fit and what you got going on? How can they get involved with you?
They're just gonna have to follow me on Instagram,
okay,
and or Facebook. My Instagram is Cierra Simone 100, and I have it's Cierra CIERRA _Simone SIMONE 100 100, and that's my Instagram. My Facebook is just Cierra Williams.
Okay.
If you know, then you know.
Yes. And she also will start growing her following with Fiscally Fit here soon. So, yep, you guys should definitely get in tune and watch this girl grow, because she is definitely doing the damn thing, and she's just very knowledgeable. And you can always use her as a tool if you have any questions or you want to learn anything.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, like, you know, I will give you my number and we can talk over the phone. I'm not big on texting.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think you're about to text me about trucking, it's not going to happen. It's not going to.
Yeah.
Like, anybody, like, people try and text me. I'm like, look, here's my number. If you want to talk, we can talk about this shit, but it's too much to text. So
yeah.
I'm like, I will, if you want to talk, I will give you my number and we can just talk.
Okay. Well, that sounds great, and I am so happy that we were able to touch base with you again, and you were able to give us some insight on trucking, because I definitely felt like this is an important topic of conversation to have as it pertains to, like, everybody trying to get into the trucking industry, and just giving you guys a heads up, or, you know, just giving some insight. And of course, everybody's experiences are going to be different. But just don't jump into it with the intent of, like, you're about to make a whole bunch of money and it's going to be the easiest thing ever. Because, listen, you are not going to be an Amazon delivery driver with what you're trying to do. This is something completely different. It takes a lot more work. It's not the same as you operating a regular vehicle. I know a lot of people were just saying, like, with the test, just memorize the answers because it won't apply. How do you feel about that?
What?
With people saying, like, when you're taking the CDL test, that you only need to know the answers because the test doesn't actually apply to what you're going to experience in trucking.
Yes. I'd say the only thing that actually the pre-trip. So, the pre-trip is where you have to name, like, all the parts of the truck. There's like 100 and some parts of the truck, from the engine all the way back to the trailer.
Okay.
What was your question again?
Like, how does the test pertain to the actual experience of being a trucker?
Nothing.
Okay, so that, yeah, like I was gonna say, because people were saying, like, to get your CDL, like, literally just focus on answering the questions right and not, like, applying that to what your experience is going to be.
A lot of CDL schools, they're just going to teach you what they need to teach you to pass the test. That's what CDL school, they're teaching you what they need to teach you to pass the test. That is all they're teaching you. So if you think CDL school is trucking, fuck no. They're just teaching you how to pass the test to get your CDL.
Okay. Period. Well, thank you for coming to our talk. And as
thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
I love it here.
Well, welcome to the tribe. That's a wrap for today's episode. If this resonated with you, don't forget to follow, share, and connect with me on YouTube, TikTok, and my website can be found in my bio. Let's keep the convo going.